What's up, guys? My name is Travis, and welcome to my very first poker vlog. As the title indicates, I left my six-figure sales job to pursue playing poker full-time. Full disclaimer, I know by all the poker experts that's a horrible thing to do. Why would you do this? Again, full disclaimer, I don't recommend anybody to do this, but here we are. This is part of my journey, so I'm starting a vlog about it for a couple reasons. I want to hold myself accountable, first and foremost. And secondly, I just think it could be an interesting story to share for anyone that wants to take the time to listen. I'm not going off of a script or anything here in my intro, so I'm going to keep it really brief and pretty much just jump into some hands here. Make sure if you like the content, just like, subscribe. This is kind of a mess. I've literally just learned how to edit videos, and I'm not like an expert on recording myself on camera or anything, but make sure you like and subscribe if you like what you see here and you find the journey a little interesting. As the content is only going to keep getting better from here. So we're going to jump right into it, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video here. All right, just got here to the poker room. Actually skipped picking up some food on the way. We're going to get something here in a little bit. I'm not that hungry right now, so I'd rather get to the action and wish me luck on recording my first couple poker hands. Hopefully I give you guys some good content. We'll see you soon.
I get on the list for 2-5 and 1-3. It looks like we'll be at the 1-3 first, so I bind for the max, which is 500 bucks. All right, guys, so getting into the first hand here, we are in the low jack. We look down at pocket tens. There's a couple limps to us, so we raise it up to $15 naturally. And we get 4 callers, so not necessarily ideal. We're going 5 ways to a flop. And the board comes ace, queen, 7, rainbow. It checks over to me. I have no idea why, but I was compelled to bet $20 here. Pretty standard check here. I mean, I'd say almost 100% of the time, but here we are. We're betting $20 into 4 other people. This flop is very good for my range, but obviously horrible for my hand. The button and under the gun both end up making the call. So we go 3 ways to a turn, which is the 6 of spades. And we are waiting on the under the gun to make his move. I'm pretty much done with the hand at this point. I check as he checks over to me. The button makes it $50 at this point, and obviously as soon as it gets to me, I'm just completely done with the hand. We're waiting on the under the gun to see what he wants to do. He raises to 100 and I obviously snap fold. So going to the second hand I recorded here, I quickly realized my opponents are pretty splashy. I'm with ace 3 of diamonds in the hijack, which would be a standard raise with a couple limps before me, but I limp, let the cutoff immediately raise me up to $20, and obviously this is going to be a standard call here. So we end up going 4 ways here to a flop, $80 in the middle, and it comes out ace king 5 with 2 spades. It checks over to me. I'm going to check to the pre-flop aggressor, standard, the cutoff, but he decides to check back. And the turn comes the 4 of hearts. And it checks over to me once again. Nobody feels very strong on this board, obviously, since it looks like it's going to get checked through twice. Throw out a bet of $20. And everyone folds. So ace 3 is good here. We take down a smooth $80 pot. Moving on to our next hand here, I'm in the big blind. There's a raise in middle position to $15, a call from the cutoff, and I have pocket queens. And middle position is a bit of a maniac. I'm going to 3-bet to $60 and get snap called by the original raiser, and the cutoff goes ahead and makes a fold. So we're heading heads up to a flop of 10-8-4 rainbow. And I could check this over to him and let him bet, but I don't know, I just want to take initiative here. I make a continuation bet of $55 and get quickly called. And we're heading to a turn, which comes the Jack of Spades. It doesn't change too much in my opinion with this particular opponent. I mean, he could always have a Jack 10 hand, or you know, some kind of funky hand like that. But I'm gonna size up, get max value from him, just because he's a calling station. He's been betting the whole session so far, and he quickly calls me for $110. I'm kind of hesitant now going to a river, so I check it over to him, ready to call any bet, but he checks back. I fold over pocket queens, and he looks at his hand, throws it in the muck, pats on the table and says nice hand, and we scoop a $365 pot. Moving on to our fourth hand here, I'm in middle position. It folds to me, I raise it up to $10. Man to my left immediately calls me, I believe is in the low jack, and I believe the big blind makes the call. So pocket queens going 3 ways to a flop here with $30 in the middle, and the flop comes 6-4-7 rainbow. I check it over just because my opponents have been playing some funky hands. This kind of crushes their range, to be honest, with straights, 2 pairs, sets, everything. So he bets out 30, big blind folds, I call 30, and the turn comes Jack of diamonds. Shouldn't really change anything. I check over to my opponent once again here. And he sizes up to $55. So at this point, I don't really love it, but I've not really represented my hand that strongly, so I can't go anywhere just yet for $55. I make the call, and the river pairs the board with a 7. I'm not sure how to feel about it. If he had 2 pair that's not a 7, you know, maybe I got lucky, but he more than likely has a 7. I check to him, he snap checks back actually, and flips over 6-4 offsuit, and complains that it was a horrible river card. But I say you shouldn't be playing that crap anyways, so I scoop in another $200 pot, joke around with him, he is a nice guy, and then moving on to the next hand here in just a second.
Well, you know, I did that almost that same exact hand.
I started recording this hand a little late. There was a raise under the gun from the Maniac to 25, the low jack calls, I wake up with ace king offsuit on the button, I 3-bet to $110, the under the gun jams all in for about 150. I obviously make the call. He flips over pocket queens, which is the very top of his range. Ask him, he asked me what I want to do as far as how many boards. I say whatever he wants. We agree to run 2 boards. $325 in the middle. Queens hold on the first board, and I hit 2 pair on the second one. So no harm, no foul. We pretty much split the $25 from the other guy. This hand here is not the most exciting, but I got it on film here and figured why not. There is a under the gun raise to $8. He gets 3 callers. I wake up in the big blind with ace king of diamonds. I'm certainly not going to be limping for $3 in this situation. I bump it up to $35, hoping for some action here actually. The initial raiser goes ahead and he makes a reluctant fold, and everyone else pretty much snap folds at this point. Kind of disappointing, but I'll never argue with taking down some money with no contest pre-flop. Next hand here, again, not the most exciting, but there's 3 limpers before me. I'm in the button. I limp with king 2 of diamonds, and we go 4 ways to a flop here of ace queen 4 2 diamonds. Everyone checks. When it checks to me, I didn't limp in position to let this get by. I limped in to take down some easy money, hopefully. I throw out a bet of $10, and no one obviously has a piece of this board, and I take down a non-contested $12 pot. This next hand here, I am under the gun. I'm actually talking with the dealer and another guy about posting videos and vlogging, and I have 6-7 of spades under the gun. I raise to $10. I get 3-bet to $35 by middle position. This particular player has played pretty tight. I haven't seen him get out of line really at all. I make the call here kind of knowing that I'm up against an overpair more than likely, and the board comes a magical 3, 4, 5. I am no math magician, but I'm pretty sure that's 5 cards in a row. I flop a straight. I am running good right now. I check to him, and he puts out a bet of $35. And I am just sitting here thinking, what do I do? Do I slow play, let him try to keep getting max value out of his overpairs? Do I raise now, being out of position? Do I call? I don't know what to do. I have chips in my hand. I'm thinking about it. I think if I raise here, this opponent is not going to be able to get away from it. So I almost min click to $80. And it is back over on him. I was actually having a conversation with this gentleman right as this hand got going, and you can hear in the background the conversation stops. We are not on friendly terms anymore. We are enemies until this hand is over. It's back on him. He's thinking about it here. Alarm bells should be going off in his head, but apparently they are not. And he re-min clicks it here to $160. And I'm sitting here thinking, did I really flop the nut straight with a backdoor flush draw and get 3-bet by someone who has a monster overpair? I don't know what to do here. I'm wondering, do I call and pray that another overcard comes on the board? Do I reshove? I think reshoving here just looks insanely way too strong, and he will probably fold out any overpair that he has. I'm not sure what to do here, and I go back and forth for a while about it, to be honest. I ultimately decide to just make the call and pray for a high card to come on the board. Don't give this guy another scare card. Don't make it look like I have what I have. Give me a very clean overcard, and we did not get it. We get probably the worst card that could have came out. At this point, it feels like our cover is just blown. He has like 325 left. I shove, and as expected, he said, yep, that was a perfect turn card for you, and snap folds, and we show him, no sir, we flopped it. So we scoop a $390 pot. Can't complain too much, but let me know what you guys think about that, if I should have played it differently. So this is the last hand of the session here. We wake up with pocket queens in middle position. I raise a $15 over a limp. I get 3-bet by the cutoff to $30. Everyone else folds. This is the same guy I've gotten in a lot of hands with here. I make the call because he's ultra aggressive. I just want him to kind of bluff off his stack to me. And the flop comes 5-2 queen. Boom, we flop top set. We're running really good. I smooth check over to the cutoff. He bets out $40. I call. I'm really not worried about anything on this board right now. And the turn comes to 6 of diamonds. I check again to him, knowing that he's going to keep blasting off his chips. And he continuation bets to $55. At this point, I'm thinking, should I re-raise now? Should I keep smooth calling? There's 2 flush draws on the board. What could this guy possibly have? And I think I ultimately decide that's enough of the shenanigans here. We're going to go ahead, see if this guy actually has a hand. And we raise him up to $155. So let's see if he has a hand. I didn't feel like blasting off on the river. I want to get the check raise in now. And he actually goes under the tank for a little while here. The longer he's thinking about it, the more I'm starting to put him on an under pair, like maybe 9s through jacks, something like that. I don't think he has a flush draw. I think he definitely would have called me by now. And for his 3-betting range, I have to put him on a pretty respectable pair at this point. And he ultimately decides on a fold. I was hoping otherwise, but again, cannot complain. I'm flopping straights, I'm flopping top sets, and we scoop another $202 pot. And this will be our last hand of the session here.
All right, guys, so we called it a session. I feel like I got a lot of action. I usually like to play longer. I played just over 3 hours, right about 3 hours exactly, actually, and bought in for 500, added on for 100 early on. I went down a couple hands. So I was in for 600 total, and I cashed out for 998. So that's 3 hours of playing, roughly $400 of profit or so. So I don't record tips or anything like that, so that's after whatever tip the dealer, tip the waitress, but about 400 in profit on my first vlog here. I only stuck with 1-3 because there was some pretty good players at the 2-5 table. I could tell the regulars here, and I was already, I don't want to say overwhelmed, but I was already feeling kind of maxed out with my attention span, with trying to record hands, trying to remember every single bet, every single suit of every card that hits the board. So I didn't want to push it and play with, you know, a couple real grinders at 2-5, and the 1-3 game was pretty good. So I played pretty much ABC poker. I mean, there was mainly one guy at the table that was just ultra aggressive. So just get your money in with him when you have a good hand. So, but you'll see here in the clips, obviously. Well, this will be at the end of the video, so I don't know. I'm gonna edit that part out. But yeah, basically about a $400 profit, 3 hours of playing, and I look forward to you guys continuing to watch my vlogs here. And I appreciate you taking the time to watch this one. It means the world to me. And we'll see you soon.